disengaging, disarming, dethroning, and depriving the narcissist. What's going on, everybody? Erica here with yet again another one. Now, I know a lot of us are already all too familiar with narcissism, NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, and yet we tend to wonder, if we break free from it, are we really broken free from it? Are we really, really detached from the person, people, situations, trauma? And if we are, what happens to the narcissist? How do we actually break free from that? How do we actually get away from that? And what does it do to the person that's inflicted the pain? Now, I know that most of us can familiarize ourselves with the pain of being the victim of narcissistic abuse, whether it's being married to a narcissist, being raised by a narcissist, being friends with a narcissist, or just coexisting with them, period. We can familiarize ourselves with that. But one of the things that we need to do, besides focusing on healing, besides focusing on what we need to do for ourselves, what we need to do is basically, one, learn how to discern, right? You learn from your mistakes, you learn from your experience, you learn that you never want to go through that again. But two, if you notice certain qualities, you notice certain familiar feelings, familiar gestures, familiar actions, you can learn how to disarm them. You can learn how to deprive them and how to dethrone them without even devaluing them like they did you or other victims, without inflicting that kind of horrific manipulation, without doing anything remotely malignant. You can learn how to disarm a narcissist. You can learn how to say, you know what? I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to turn the table. Because not only am I going to take my power back, but I'm not going to leave my value. I'm not going to leave who I am, my identity, who I know I can be, in the hands of someone who is nowhere near remotely confident within themselves. Who are you for me to do that? So in this video, I wanted to go over a few things on how you can dethrone a narcissist. If you have already, and you know the tactics and you know how to go about it, congratulations. Because you made it farther than a lot of people who really don't know yet what they're dealing with, what they're involved with, what they're getting involved in. You have people that are unaware, and there are so many people that are affected by mental abuse, emotional abuse, whether it's by a narcissist, whether it's by a sociopath, whether it's by a psychopath. You have people that are facing in different stages of their lives, either what you've gone through, what you're going through, or they're basically heading in that direction. And it's up to us to get them out of it. Now, first and foremost, one thing I do want to address is that, the common misconceptions when it comes to narcissists. I've been doing so much research for a long time, and I've learned that society throws the term narcissism, NPD. They throw it around like it's candy on Halloween. And they're only really basing it on the superficiality of it, on a very superficial level. They tell you to look for the conceited people and the gold diggers and the charmers and the extroverts, the outgoing ones that have to be the center of attention, and they have to be, it's all about me. It goes way beyond that. People who suffer from NPD, people who are narcissistic, okay, they all come in a variety of flavors, sizes, and different categories. Narcissism is a spectrum. Okay? And on that spectrum, you have a scale. And the scale goes according to the personality type. I have another video on my channel, which I'm going to link at the end of this video, which gives you the different types of narcissists. So don't just look for someone who's trying to impress you. Don't just look for someone who's trying to, be the center of attention. You also have to discern the introverted narcissists, okay? You have narcissists that are loners, and they suffer from a form of ASPD, which is a form of antisocial personality disorder. They can be antisocial, but still be a narcissist. Now, in that video, the different types of narcissists, I think it's important that we understand the categories and then the subcategories, because you have so many different levels and layers and different, you can, pretty much simultaneously, a narcissist can be an elite narcissist, but also be malignant. They can be a covert narcissist. You have overt narcissists. You have so many different types. So before we go into looking for what society tells us to look for, we have to first do our research, learn a little more about it, and then be able to decipher who is who plays what, and so forth and so on. But I always give this disclaimer, unless it's diagnosed by a professional, don't self-diagnose and don't try to diagnose other people. But all in all, your intuition is very key. Your discernment is very key. Okay, it's a tool given to you to maneuver throughout your life. All right, and to maneuver around certain types of people, no matter what they suffer from. All right, so just remember that. And we can all agree that the end game, the end goal for a narcissist is they're self-seeking, they're self-serving. It's about their needs, their wants, and they're willing to do anything, which includes fake emotions. They can fake empathy. They can fake sympathy just to get what they want. All right? It all lies under manipulation. All right? And manipulation, if you have to manipulate someone to do something, to get what you want out of a situation, and it's really not worth having it, because at the end of the day, it's really, really going to create such a catastrophic dynamic, and someone can really, really get hurt from it. Now, with that being said, guys, let's remember something. We all do have a dosage of narcissism in us, okay? In fact, it's essential for us. It's what balances out our self-esteem, especially codependents. When codependents are recovering and they are actually rebuilding up their self-esteem, that little dosage of narcissism helps, because it helps balance it out for them, okay? It doesn't mean that we're conceited people. You want to look in the mirror and feel good about yourself and say, hey, I'm a beautiful woman? Go ahead. That's self-love. If you're a man and you say, hey, I'm a handsome man, I feel good about myself, that's self-love. That's perfectly fine. But when you take it beyond itself and you take it a little too far, where you get into the point of entitlement and nastiness and coldness and exploitation, that's bad. Now, a lot of people focus on getting revenge on the narcissist because of everything that they've gone through. Humiliation, the manipulation, the pain, the hurt. And that's not my forte. Okay? I don't do revenge. I don't believe in revenge. I don't believe in hurting someone because they hurt me. I don't do any of that, okay? That's just not me. They have videos for stuff like that, and that's just something you won't find under my content, because at the end of the day, I still carry empathy within myself, and I've come to the clear-cut understanding that people who are narcissistic and people who suffer from NPD are victims themselves. So just because I was once a codependent, and I was a victim of narcissistic abuse throughout my life and my relationships, a narcissistic person is still that, a person. They're still a human being, okay? And they were deprived of the same type of connection that I was deprived of. And that's, I think, one of the things that some people don't understand. And it's okay, because we're all human. And it's okay to want to feel a certain kind of way and feel that, they got away with it. And, listen, you can dethrone people, you can disarm people, and you can deplete them of the so-called power that they walk around thinking they have. And you don't have to lay a hand on them. You don't have to humiliate them. You don't have to resort to those low tactics that they used to get that from you. Okay? It's very simple and very clear. It's simple as this. When you detach from a narcissist, you're pulling back your energy. All right? Now, it's going to be hard to do that because you feel so energetically tied to them, because you've already created a trauma bond with them. So that energetic cord between the two of you, or between you and the massive narcissist that you surrounded yourself with, is still there. Okay? But once you start to pull back, once you detach yourself from the toxicity, that toxic cord, because that's what a trauma cord is. That's what a trauma bond is. I also have a video on that too, and I'm going to link it at the end of this video. But once you pull back, now you were top-notch supply, okay? And they thought you weren't going to go anywhere. They thought that you were going to always be around forever. You were always going to put up with their crap because you loved them so much and you cared so much. That's where you were going to be. Failing to understand that you have a tiny bit of strength left in you, all right? And you decided to utilize that strength to pull back, all right? Detachment is number one. Once you detach, it's going to be hard, not going to be easy. I'm going to tell you that right now. But once you detach, that's the first stage. Now, since you pull back your energy, they're not getting your attention. They're not getting your time. They're not getting anything from you. Okay, now you can take whatever energy and time that you were putting into that dynamic, you're going to put it back into yourself. You're going to focus on yourself. You're going to heal yourself. You're going to go through all the steps that you had to go through to get better within yourself. So this is where you're going to be selfish. This is where the narcissist is going to actually think, wait a minute, maybe you're the narcissist. And you know what? If that's what they want to believe, let them believe that. Okay? Self-love comes first. Now, understand, while you're doing all of this, a lot of people are not really going to understand what it is that you have gone through, okay? Because narcissistic abuse is at an all-time high, but you have people that are, to this very moment, being manipulated, don't even realize it, okay? And unfortunately, as much as you would want to help someone else, you have to focus on helping yourself first, okay? So during this time of self-love, during this time of reflection, during this time of working on yourself, it's going to be quite lonely because you are really not going to have anyone but yourself. And if you were anything like me, because during my healing process, I believe in God and I relied on him wholeheartedly, helped me get through it. It took a lot because I was grieving for over a year, but it helped me get through my trauma. It helped me face a lot of my anger, my inner resentment, and my childhood trauma at that. And in the interim of all of this, if you have to go on a hiatus, go on a hiatus. If you have to disconnect from the world, disconnect from the world, disconnect from everyone. Explain to them, listen, I'm dealing with something and it's something that I have to take care of. And if people care, other people care, they'll be understanding to it, okay? They'll still be there when you get back. They'll still be there waiting for you when you get back from what it is that you need to do for you, okay? Once you've gone through all your stages and once you feel that you are strong enough to face the world and you're strong enough to get through that main obstacle, okay, this is how you're going to pretty much dethrone them. You are going to stand in your own power, all right? You're going to not let anything that they say, anything that they do affect you, because when you've gone through your healing and you've gone through your whole process of the pain, anger, resentment, that darkness, that purging of emotions, that feeling of complete and utter pain, and it's painful. It can be physically, emotionally, mentally, all at once. Trust me, I felt all of it, and I know exactly what that pain is. But once you've gone through all of that, anything from that point on that goes on doesn't really affect you. Any kind of knowledge of anything doesn't affect you. And when it doesn't affect you, that's when you know for yourself. That's when you know, oh shit, I'm actually feeling better. You start to feel better about yourself. You start to feel more confident about yourself. You actually start to succeed more in your life because you're letting go what has been holding you back. And in the interim of all of that, they see that. They see what's going on. Because if you think a narcissist or narcissists are not watching you, are not watching what you're doing to check in on you and see where you're at, think again, okay? Because the very moment that a narcissist feels that they're losing control, remember, their key thing is control. When they feel that they're losing control, they start to lose whatever else was coming behind it. Okay, when they see that the games are not being, they're not being received anymore. When they see that you have no longer have an interest in what they're doing, what they're saying, what's going on. Secrets that the narcissist doesn't want you to know. Another video in my channel. When they see that you are just completely cutting them off, they don't like that. They feel that that's wrong. Like you're committing the ultimate crime. You see how you can dethrone someone by standing in your own power and not even laying a finger on them, by showing them who the hell you really are? You possess a certain type of essence that they can't resonate with, that they don't familiarize with, okay? And they see that anything that they've done is no longer working on you. It's no longer affecting you. It's no longer even making you turn your head. You're just like, okay, all right, that's the best you got, huh? Because you already seen through their bullshit. You've already seen through what it is that they're going to do, and you already know what it is that they're going to try to do. And narcissistic people, like I said, they're victims themselves. All right? They would rather manipulate, lie, and hurt people to get what it is they want, rather than what you would do naturally, what you can do naturally to get what it is that you want. So basically, guys, dethroning them, disarming them, disengaging, depriving, you have to take away the one thing that they think they possess, which is your power, your validation, your self-esteem, your love, your devotion. Because what are you devoted to? Being lied to, being hurt, being humiliated. If you're a woman, you're having your femininity taken away from you. If you're a man, you're being castrated by putting power into the hands of someone or people who are just as messed up in their head. Doesn't make sense. So guys, revenge is such a very strong word, and it's cold and it's calculated, and that's not something that I would do. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but if you want to get back at a narcissist, dethrone them. Okay? Kick the dictator out of their power seat. And by doing so, it means taking back your power. Taking back your power, living your life, doing what's best for you, finding your own happiness, true happiness, and creating a dynamic that's healthy for you. Because a narcissistic person will never understand that. Narcissists do not believe they need to be helped. They feel that they're already perfect, and that's that. And the only way they would consider getting help is if it meant manipulating yet again to get back in your good graces, or if they feel that they're losing way too much control, or there's a chance that they might lose their prime supply, they'll say and do things to try to appease you. And that's something that, I again don't tell people what to do, but that's something that you really got to be careful with. All right. So guys, this is my way to dethrone a narcissist. I mean, some may agree, some may not, but at the end of the day, You know, I believe in taking the high road, because at the end of the day, you know, everybody builds up their own karma, and how you react to situations is not going to do anything to the other person. It's just gonna be your end result. So build up your good karma, guys. I want to see you guys succeed, and I want to see you do it in a healthy way. That's the best way to do it. Not here to tell you what to do, but I'm just letting you know. I took the high road, and it's gotten me so much farther than where I was. Okay? So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope, you know, you got a little something out of it, a little pearl of wisdom out of it. Please leave me some feedback. You guys know I love it. All right. And I'm so glad to see that more people are subscribing and more people are interacting. It really, really is awesome. And if you need a support system, you got one here. All right. Working on my next video, which is going to focus on borderline personality disorder. So this should be a bit interesting. I'm still doing a little bit more research on it. I am familiar with it, but I'm doing more research. So until next time, guys, namaste.